Hey friends, so today I'm going to talk about basically if I started from zero, here's how I'd get to 30K a month in 6 to 12 months. And I'll make it as practical as I can for you basically. So over the last year or so, I've scaled my business to just over 500K, both in the coaching and the consulting space. So I've found tremendous success like sharing this sort of stuff to my community, but I thought I'd drop in like a little value bomb, be as authentic as possible, and sort of run you through one of these carousels I did on LinkedIn with a little bit more insight. So, before coaching, I'd look up skills by doing things for people. Like nothing beats done for you. It's much faster to sort of find one or two people. If we're looking at LinkedIn, there's like 1 billion people on there to do something for them. So whether that's writing content, building an email funnel, designing or developing a website, running paid ads, doing SEO, whatever that thing is that you want to get into, just simply do it and execute it for others. In return, I'd gain experience for doing that. Then I'd flip it into coaching, personally speaking, since that's sort of a lot more of a leveraged model that I do inside Modern Maker, my coaching program. So here's what this looks like. Number one, we'd have an offer. So a one-to-one coaching offer for 12 weeks. I wouldn't even think of scale at this point. I would have lots of proximity. I'd make it really highly personal. And this would be my core offer. I would determine the number of clients I could work with, let's say 10, for example, and do nothing else until I got there. I would make it stupidly simple to say yes to by doing things others are not willing to do. And it's exactly how I sort of ran my agency when we first got started. And, I was a freelancer building websites. I was thinking long term. I wanted to get my skills in front of the right people. So whether that was price, time, going the extra mile, I would piece everything together to make them happy. Now, money isn't an issue at this point when you start, because you have ample time. So the less no's, the more experience you gain. And that's sort of like, Alex Hormozy's $100 million offer equation put into practice. Here's what I'd also be doing for them. Now, if we take my line of work, it would be offer creation, funnel building, modeling their business, preparing, their workout if you're a fitness coach or something like that, making a content plan maybe for them. Doesn't matter what it is, but you roll your sleeves up here and you do the work to get fast action, fast results. And whatever problem there is, I would say, yes, I can help at this stage. Also, you can offer unlimited DM access on WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack, whatever it is. Do Zoom meetups weekly or whenever they have to. Be together with them all day long until we hit that goal. This would soak me up with experience, right? You're building testimonials, social proof, all of that funky stuff that works, right? And then I would turn it into a system. Like I would start identifying what am I doing again and again that I can turn into a system, into modules, trainings, workbooks, like a protocol document, until I could build the leverage to help people do it without much of my help by following this protocol. The more my clients win, the less hands-on I need to be because of this system. But I do everything in my power to build a solid system with all the templates and scripts and all the repeatables and things. No second offer until I filled those 10 spots, whether that was 1K, 1.2K, even $500, $300, doesn't really matter. Just fill it in when you get started. The goal should be get sales through the door, stack your skills and build your own roadmap and start to visualize where you want to go with this. And then start getting referrals. A happy client would always ring you. Now I know I'm doing something right if this starts to kick off and get momentum. Let's talk a little bit about pricing. So the first 2-3 clients would be cheap as fuck, whatever I'm comfy with charging that would float my boat and keep me alive basically with the income that I'm gaining. And here's an example, like every third client, I'd raise the price by 15 to 20% until I meet my sweet spot. I'd know that if I'm closing less than 30%, there's something I need to work on price-wise. Maybe it's lowering it or upping the value or the perceived value. So for example, you get the first 2-3 clients at 1K, then the next would be at 1.2K, and the cycle goes on. Once the 10 clients are in, now I can go into lower or mid-ticket territory. This would make me reach 10K a month with different mechanisms. Now I can say to myself, like, do I stick to the one-to-one coaching or raise my price? Or do I launch a group program or once-off course or something to keep stacking around my little offer buffet or offer suite? Have in mind that I scaled my one-to-one coaching to 150K in 2022 before even thinking of group. And to this day, close proximity offers are what drive the business. Now, I get my leveraged offer out to an additional 10K and make that half the price of my one-on-one, because people will start to do it themselves with you. You won't be doing it for them. You can have one core offer that's close proximity and then start building out the leverage, through School Circle, Google Classroom, whatever it is, Slack. Start to exit in a way as the protocol and system does the work. Now, regarding the funnel, pick a social platform for your funnel. For me, it's always been LinkedIn as the primary platform to get organic reach. Love it for organic as it is, as I don't want to pay any ads, but there's other people on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, so be it, doesn't really matter. If you're good with time, go for LinkedIn. If you're okay with spending, go for Instagram and run some ads. Some people are okay, they've got the money, but they don't have the time. There's no right or wrong. You pick your lane. But if you go down the organic route, never miss a day. Now, here's what the content looks like. So first, we want to teach. Anything locked inside your head, teach it out, give it out to people. This builds your authority, improves your competence, right? Because nobody knows what you know. An example of that could be a step-by-step guide to get leads. Then we want to share. Share is anything unrelated to business, like hobbies, interests, maybe beliefs or values. And this shows your true colors. Remember, people buy into you before buying into what you do. The next set of content is show content. This is your model or unique mechanism. Show people why this model works. So for example, at Modern Maker, I always talk about my Modern Maker model, which is low stress. It's Google Docs based. It's a believable offer, not an irresistible offer. I don't like sales calls and all of that, and how I'm optimizing for time and profit and clients and retention, and how that model's worked for me. And I show behind the scenes of me, let's say, writing or making offers or working with clients and students. It's like the sawdust basically behind what you do in your craft, the process. And then invite content is get people off the platform and into something else, like an email list, YouTube channel, paid workshop with a call to action. I love pairing invite content with social proof, for example, or testimonials to up your know, like, and trust factor, and then move them into join your email list or watch this video, etc. You can determine the percentage spread of these depending on how much you want to grow versus sell. So if you're looking for more growth, for example, you'd be doing more teach and share content. And if you're looking for something in the middle, it's show and invite to sell. Now you can always have a teach hybrid invite post, right? Like this one is a teach post and there's an invitation at the end. So then we have our assets. What sort of assets are we looking for inside the funnel? I'd create a Loom video breakdown of what we do, keep it to 5 to 10 minutes, cover everything, your model, your ways of doing things, how you got here, what you're doing. Warm up your audience, send people to this video before any calls or Google Doc offers or so be it, because now they know a little bit about you. It's almost like a VSL type of thing. And we want to look at lead magnets. You know what you're doing, create an asset, a template, an ebook, something of value, and get more people from the top of the funnel into your universe. Like with me on LinkedIn, I've gotten about 3,000 people on my email list by sending them to grab this one template that made me 12.4K. Or I send them to my email list to watch a 5-minute video at swipemymojo.com. Then we have workshops. We can do a workshop once every quarter for free, give things away, make an offer at the end. When you get a few folks, then you can charge a small fee for it. for example, $50 to $100. Like I build leads to customers by offering them a day pass into one of the workshops that I do monthly. Then you want to roll your sleeves up and go to battle. DM 10 people every day, cold outreach, or DM 10 people a day, warm outreach, people that have engaged in your comments or whatever it is. Start those conversations and see if you see the light and they have a problem that you can solve, make them an offer. I don't like outbound personally, but I did start at that. Until your audience grows, then people come to you as your authority builds. And I would also track all these interactions. Like I still use a Google spreadsheet or equivalent to know who I'm following up with or whatever. Now over time, growing to like 40,000 followers on LinkedIn, I've stopped tracking because inbound comes in and I have an email list, which is the next step. So when I can, 2 to 3 times a week, I get people to sign up to my email list, whether it's through a lead magnet or simply telling them to join or adding it into my bio or my featured section on LinkedIn or Instagram or any platform. It's basically everywhere. And you can expand on content that worked on LinkedIn via email. You know, when you've hit like a certain dollar amount, I'd go super long form to YouTube to warm up people a little bit more. Like one of the things I love doing is getting people from LinkedIn to email and then getting them onto my YouTube to warm up. Somebody, I can't remember who it was, maybe it was Richard Branson, who said 7 hours, 11 touch points and 4 different locations, right? Get them to consume 7 hours of your work at 11 different touch points, whether that's like YouTube, email, LinkedIn, blogs, whatever it is that you can think of in those different locations. And don't count me on it. I can't remember who said it. And then we have selling. When I start, I want cash fast. Who doesn't, right? Sales calls do the trick over sales by chat at the beginning. I'd obtain the sales skills, have all the questions and objections and knowledge to figure things out. Once I'm comfy, I transition into Google Docs and selling via text. It's exactly my own path. Before I go to the next bit, like selling through those sales calls will help you basically outline all their needs, all the problems, all the tweaks you have to make because it acts like an R&D barrier. Now, hiring. No need for a big team. In the Modern Maker model, I don't have a team. I once had a VA and they eliminated a lot of stuff for me, you know, on the admin side. But then I automated everything in my business with Zapier, with Make, with all these tools that are low cost, low friction. But one thing that I always do or try out is like hire out a video editor. Sometimes I don't have one currently, but they do help for little things, or an accountant as a contractor. He is my bread and butter. Can't live without him. Or the things you don't want to do once you get to that stage, but it's entirely up to you to find that bottleneck. Then we have money mindset. I used to binge like mindset videos to give me the fuel that I needed. I know that's cheesy, but you know, the tactics, the strategy, all of that is the easy part. The hard part is regulating your inner nervous system, shifting that belief within you and actually believing that what you do, even on the bad days, is good, and we stay consistent. You know, I've taught myself to say no more often, to be consistent, to write better, to close premium clients and obtain that belief, coach better, you know, be a leader, be optimistic, and work on my intuition. Whatever is best for you here, don't let it slip, like Eminem says, right? Find that mindset piece that works for you. So in summary, we have a one-to-one proximity offer to 10K. Increase your prices as you go up to 20K. Then we have a group coaching offer. You can scale that to an additional 10 to 20K. Use your LinkedIn to post daily, an email funnel, run a workshop, do some YouTube, have paid workshops eventually, and a free lead magnet to indoctrinate people into your universe. Now, eventually what happens, or what happened for me at least, is that this group offer became the highest leverage activity, which takes up about 80% of the work that I do. And then I stick to my one-to-one proximity offer on a smaller scale. You know, you can send a total of 20 to 30 DMs daily, whether that's warm or cold. The more you grow, the less you'll need this. And then sell through Zoom calls before pivoting into Google Docs and text. hire or automate. That's entirely up to you what you want to do once you hit those bottlenecks, and focus on yourself truly. Your personal development is the key. Tactics are the easy parts. And that's pretty much it. That's how I got to 30K per month in the last 6 to 12 months, and then scaled way beyond that and have had 70K months, 100K months, and so on. And I know saying it isn't easy, but it's definitely doable. Treat this carousel like a menu. Pick what you want, ignore what you want. The core of it that I always go by is make it simple and fun for yourself. And if you're interested in a further deep dive, Modern Maker's open this month for 3 more people. If you think it's something you'd want to explore together and work together to get yourself up there, DM me with the word maker, either on my email list, which I'll leave below, or on LinkedIn, and I'll send you the details over. Thank you, and I hope that was useful for you today.